All right, welcome back. Here we have the S&P 500 with another video on price action. We're looking at current trend. We're still in an uptrend. We have not left the center of this uptrend. And one of my main concerns here is the ability to, and I speak for myself, the ability to just stay patient and wait for the actual move in the market to happen, as opposed to all of this chop. Now, I've been talking about this chop for the last 3 weeks because price has decided to stay within this little range. And if you guys can notice, every single time I do mention this, because keeping trading simple and not switching up your strategy too much once you find your edge is exactly what it's all about. So I'm going to keep repeating the same things, and it's all going to be very repetitive because it works. So if we can see here, we have price action hit the bottom of the channel, a nice little triple bottom and a rocket to the top. We have a nice little rejection here and a pretty decent candle as opposed to everything that we're seeing in here. So if we can see the comparison of what it looks like when price hits the bottom of the channel and how healthy the candle looks, then we can get an actual move that can translate to some nice gains. So all of this indecision is what I've been talking about. Ever since we were in the middle right here, I've been saying to stay away from trades, to make sure that you play it by level, only try to scalp, don't wait or expect a big move. Within all of these candles, the biggest move that we saw was this green candle right here. And you can see that there's not a lot of opportunities and there's mostly indecision there. So the indecision is what most people seem to be thrown off by, and that's what seems to pretty much throw off everyone's bias and everyone's like game plan, and how come it didn't hit my TP, and how come I keep getting wicked out. Well, if you fail to notice the bigger picture and like the main channel that it's sitting in, then you'll fail to understand that this is where the chop happens. So yeah, that's the chop that we're looking at, and we still have not exited that range. So we're going to go ahead and look at this on a smaller time frame, like the 1 hour, potentially even the 30-minute, so we can see exactly what's going on in price within this little range. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. And what we see on the smaller time frame, this is what I like to kind of get a bigger picture of. Price action seems like it keeps rejecting these highs, and we see a lot of rejections here. So this is something that's very easy to notice, even if you're not an experienced trader. You could see that price doesn't want to budge from these highs. This 5,700 area, this 5,730 is kind of where price is getting stuck at. And what I'd like to notice is that within the channel, there's always going to be like a smaller channel. So we can see price somewhat respecting this as it hits the bottom, and it nicely, it makes a nice move up, kind of gets stuck within that little trend line, and then makes a nice move to the downside. So we can see this continuous pattern within this range, and this is kind of like the small time channel within the larger picture. And right now we're noticing that we're getting one of those little elbows at the bottom of this, so we can kind of wait to see this reject. And that's why I have this playing out right here. I want a rejection from this level, and I want to take profit around here. If we can get this move, that would be a solid 1 to 3 trade. Now, if you can kind of capitalize on a smaller move, like something like this, you can still get some good gains. But what I want to see is freedom from the center of this channel. So as soon as price escapes this area and makes a move towards here or here, we can go in with higher confidence. Nothing has changed. Price is still in the same area. So all of these videos are going to sound repetitive, but that's what it's like waiting for the right move. You don't switch it up. You don't change just because price is chopping and you want to force a trade. No, you wait for the big levels to take a trade. And if you feel like scalping within the range, then you know what you're facing and you know to lower your risk, because you don't want to expose yourself too much when you're getting all these types of wickouts and all this type of indecision. You can see price does not know where to go and it keeps chopping. So once we get to the bottom of the channel, we'll see a nice rocket to the upside. Once we get to the top of the channel, we'll see a nice rejection, and vice versa for the bottom and the top of the channel. So with that being said, we can go over some levels for bulls. If we get sentiment and price just simply hops right back into this little small time channel, then we can easily target the top. So simple, you watch price action close, a nice little candle closure over, and you can see kind of like signals. You want to always look for an entry signal. So we see here price was consolidating, and this is just an example of what we're going to see happen over there where price is currently at. We have price consolidating, and then you get a nice little bullish pin bar at the bottom of the channel. So this could be a nice little indicator for a strong move to the upside. All right, every time we come to the bottom of the channel, we get that nice move. So that's kind of what we're expecting here. We're expecting price to either reject this level for some downside, or we're expecting a nice little signal, like an entry signal, so that we can get a move to the top of the channel. And for bulls, we're looking at same levels as last time. We're kind of sitting around the same price. So 56.83 is where we're currently at, 56.81-ish. And we can target a move for bulls to the 57.30 level after clearing 5700. And then we can target 57.70 after clearing 57.30. And for bears, we want a nice rejection under this. An entry signal is always what we're looking for. Candle closure on an hourly, candle closure on a 30. The higher the time frame, the better. And if we can see a nice little candle close under this channel that it's been kind of using as support, which can now turn into resistance, then we can look for an entry, and we can target 56.70, which is a 10-point move from where we're currently at. And then we can also target 56.40. So these levels are going to be very crucial. When price gets there, you'll see a nice reaction, and it's based off of the previous lows and the previous highs. We keep it simple, and we sit and we wait for the big move. So if these levels helped, leave a comment below. If you guys have any questions, a link to the Discord will be in the description. The previous video will also be in the description, and I'd be glad to answer any questions. Feel free to leave them down below. Catch you guys in the next one.